On also nicknamed Jack McCaig here with JesusChristTrust.net. Okay, so on that site we have all that debt removal stuff that I've been doing for a decade, and also other information. The inner circle. If you don't have that information, you really need it. If you're interested in these videos, you really need that information in the inner circle. You really need it. Now, I'll start off this video by giving a shout out to two people who have donated to the church. That's right, this church. Two people who I've helped over the years. They didn't do it to get a shout out or nothing like that. They did it because this work that I've done on Liberty Aid Academy has changed their lives, over years. And one of them maybe not so many years, but uh, really positive, significant changes for them. So they both donated to the church. So thank you both, Roxy Wright and Jay Fox. Uh, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're the only two that have donated after a decade of work, and I know helped a lot of people. You two people donated, and it's really meaningful. I mean, went through the hurricane here. Lots changed, but we're keeping it together, and everything's going okay. We're helping everyone. But I just really want to thank you both for taking the time and the energy and making that donation. It's meaningful on my end, and I know that what you each gave the same amount. It's so interesting. Um, it's real money, and I really appreciate it. I know it has meaning for you in your situation, so I know you transferring that to the church means you like the work and you're supporting this work, and I'm going to give you more work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to give you more information, more help. But I just want to say, you too, if you ever need anything, you write an email. I'm here for you, okay? I'm serious. All right. Boy, we just got a rain starting here. As soon as I start this video, it's so funny. I hope it's not messing up the sound. Now, three score. I'm gonna have to wait. I think. I don't know. It's pretty loud. Uh, Another thing I want to bring up too before I get into this video. If you want to know something, ask a question in a comment in the video. Okay, please. Uh, Part of my work is not part of my work. All of my work is helping other people. And so if I know what you need help with, I can help you. I can answer the question. The spiritual hierarchy position that I got placed in, you know what I mean, by God, I've learned over time that, Bear Baba said, oh, perfect master knows everything. Yeah, but not at one time. I could answer questions for servants of Jesus Christ. Maybe I don't know. I never thought about it, whatever. But as soon as the question gets asked, I have the answer. So that's just my position. As something that goes with the position. So, have as a goal asking good questions, and then you get more information. My work must have brought up some questions, some whatever, right? So, I know it has. So please, you help everyone by, hey, I had this experience, and, sounds like what you're talking about, or hey, I had this experience, and what is this? Or hey, I just had this question. What is this part of this? All that helps a lot, because, like, I have an understanding of what's going on, but trying to figure what has most meaning in your situation, that's not easy for me, It's much easier if you connect and be like, hey, I need this information, then I know. Okay, all right. Okay, let's get on with this now. Let's get on with this topic. Thanks for your patience on that. But I really need that help to, break into new information. I need that question from the servants of Jesus Christ. Okay, I that's you. If you're listening, I know it's you. And so ask whatever's on your mind. Let's get to it. Let's get to more reveals, revelations. Right? I'm John. Okay, so uh, three score of four. Right? Score is 20 years. So three score of four. Three score of four. I should give a doomsday address. Right? Three score of four. But you know, everything that out there, history never happened before 1969. It's all backdrop, it's all made up. Anybody that was alive in 1969, like I was, got placed there on that day with memories, of a whole bunch of stuff that never happened. And I have noticed over the years that my childhood is just weak. I don't have memories. I just really sort of don't remember anything, is what I realized. That before like age 8, I just didn't remember anything pretty much. And I did realize, I was like, I guess everybody has that. But as I've grown up and talked to other people who are younger, they don't have that experience. Of I don't remember anything for my first 8 years of life, except for some small implanted impressions of a couple things, almost nothing. They don't have that experience. You know what I mean? They are like, oh yeah, I remember what. Totally different. So for me, it's easy to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense because that fills in that blank. Like it was a whole big blank. Like what is that doing in my memory area? Blank. Years of blank. Anyway, so it's funny. I have had many, let's say, a bunch of people come up to me, older people, be like, I'm on the beach or something, and they come up to me, oh, hey, I'm, 72 years old. How are you? And then they're gonna, you know, continue in their sentence. You know what I mean? Like blah blah blah. I was like, hold it right there. I was like, hold it right there. Uh, you ain't 72 years old. Like the time loop started in 1969. You're telling me your age, but it's incorrect. Okay, I'm just, you know, and they literally start the conversation like, "Hey, they don't say hi. They don't. Blah, 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 blah. They're like, they just walk up to me. Hey, I'm X years old, and they stick out their hand and start telling me something else. Immediately, in the second half of like, there's no period of the sentence. They're going into the story. I'm like, nope, hold it right there. You are not. Since you brought this up to me, no, you're not. You follow? So for me, it solved a issue, honestly, like of not having proper memories of like what in God's name did my parents do to me that made me block out, right, my first years of my life. You know what they did? Nothing. They didn't do anything because they weren't even here. I wasn't interacting with them. They were here. I wasn't here because I had gnawing in the back of my brain. Like that's a trauma, like what happened, that would be like I'm blocking out years. I'm like, what are these, or this was I in a satanic family? No, 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 no. I wasn't. Uh, it was just I wasn't in a, you know, intelligent family. Put it that way. No one, they all had degrees and money, and they thought that equated to knowledge, which of course it didn't. And it doesn't. It still doesn't. None of my family speaks to me ever because what I have to speak the truth. That's part of another part of being in the spiritual hierarchy where I am. It's someone speaks to me, someone interacts with me. I have to speak the truth. Like I'm 73 years old. I'm like, oh, you just spoke to me. You walked up to me and are speaking to me, and I'm like, well, no, you're not, and here's why. You know what I mean? It's just part. It is what goes with this you know office that I it's not like you have an interview. It's like, yep, God chose you to do this. It's like, oh, thanks. Uh, thank you. What else are you gonna say to God? But it's like you're gonna be the. It's like, oh yeah, I did say that. I did say I wanted to be that in my prayers. Did I say that? Oh, I guess you were listening. You see, so it's a position that many people have to fill. over the time loop years. It's like the characters in this dome, they don't change. You know what I mean? Like John McCaig. You know what I mean? There's always this McEgg character cracking the egg. You know, gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. An omelet, right? Okay, so anyway, the Gettysburg Address is really, three score of four is the real one you want to be talking about. So a time loop is not a new uh, concept at all. You can read about it. Even Wikipedia's got it right. The big most recent thing was I really recommend anyone watch this. Is an HBO series, Westworld. Absolutely goes into so much of this, importantly in correct detail. It's really bloody though, you know. That part isn't for everyone or whatever. That doesn't matter to me. But I hear you if you don't want to watch it for that reason. I get that has an effect too. But it's the information. They're the whole action thing is kind of there to make it you focus on the action instead of the what's actually going on. Okay, but anyway, so time loop's not a new thing. We're in a time loop, right? It starts on 9/11, 1969. They celebrate the halfway point on 9/11, 2001, and time ends every single time on 9/11, 2033. And then it restarts one day later. One day later. Restarts one day later, right? One day later. So there's 1,000 years in the ether, right? In the etheric plane, right? In the ether, as I call it. See, there's what you can see and what you can't see, right? And the etheric in the ether, that's what you can't see. God is in the ether. He's here too, but he's in the ether. And really, where you drop the body, that's where you go, right? You don't go into some physical location. You go into a non-physical location. That's what happens when you leave this body. You go to a non-physical location for 1,000 years. It's a day here inside of Earth, okay? And then that last day here is a big day. It's a really big day, and it lasts one lifetime. Now, this whole book of Revelation, like, who's this guy John? You know what I mean? Like, who's this guy John? Why did he give a last name? Because some dude named John wakes up first every time loop. You know what I mean? And he's like me. He looks at the book. He's like, what is this? This big what? And you start to piece it together. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually John, the next John McEgg, right? He comes along and it's like, oh, guess what? And the next time loop, same thing every time. What happens. Obviously, there are different individualized consciousness at play in the same game every time, so it doesn't go exactly the same, like exactly, but the script for each day and so on is the same. Obviously, things could change a little bit in it, but not a lot. You know, it's constantly being guided and so on, but it's already decided. Everything is decided ahead of time. Like in the Quran, let's go back to the time loop, like here. In the Quran, no, that's not it. What am I looking for? Let's see. Oh, I see what I'm saying here. I'm looking for Judgment Day one I had open. What happened to that? Maybe I accidentally closed it. I think I did. That's not good. There we go. I think I accidentally closed it. I apologize for that. Okay, so this is, the Day of Judgment that occurs at the same time every time. And then, here, physically something happens, right? Oh my God, you could go read about it in the Bible, but you could also read about it in other places as well, because guess who else has these traditions, right? Uh, the Muslims do. They have the Muslim, here it is, Islam, sorry, has it, uh, and the Zoroastrians have it. Like Mayor Baba was born Zoroastrian. They have it. Basically, if you look at it, like Buddhism has it, a wheel of time. Come on, a wheel turns around, it starts again. Come on, it's not that hard. Not that hard to figure this out, really. I don't. I spent a lot of days wondering, why doesn't some other human figure this stuff out? It doesn't. It's but you have to have that meeting with God, I guess, to for him, God's grace unlocks us via the Holy Spirit. And so something is unlocked. Basically, Mir Baba uses the word a veil is removed. Like, you're not separate from God right now. You're just having the experience. You're feeling that you're separate from God. That you're not one with you. You still have questions. You're still wondering. That's a veil that's there, but that just because the veil is there to change your feeling or your impression, right? That doesn't mean that you're separate from God. Nothing ever could be separate from God. And you, most importantly, could never be separate from God. And you start to have to, act as if it's Judgment Day. You see what I'm saying? You're one with God. You're ready to kneel at the feet of Jesus Christ, like, I did everything I could do for you to say, go to the good place, and he's with me, she's with me. Do everything, right? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter whether you get killed. If you get killed, then you go there now. Yay! You don't have to wait till the last freaking. You don't have to wait another almost 11 years, right? Good for you. Because that's one thing where you be with God, you have to leave this body. The body quits working. You, quote, die. The body just is in a suspended state. And then you get dropped back into the body. You're like, okay, that's actual death. And so you experience death. You experience your judgment. And it's like, why did you put me back in this freaking body? You know what I mean? And it's to perform a service, to the to the poor and needy, right? The poor in spiritual information, and poor in money, and those that need God and the truth, right? To help people. Because only someone that has done it and knows can actually help. No one else can. It's not possible, right? Because they're still speculating. They haven't had the experience of meeting with God where you become one with God. And you know it all. There's no other way to know it all. You see what I'm saying? And it's not an ego trip. It's just like, oh crap, it's a service thing. You see what I'm saying? You get Christ consciousness. That happens for almost every single soul at real death. End of the time loop. You get judged. There you go. And you go to heaven, right? But to never reincarnate again, ever, you really have to, get all the way in this lifetime. You know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. Or else you go to heaven and you have to come back here after heaven. Okay, you had a good 1,000 years, but then memory wipe and go do it again. You didn't get it. You didn't go to the death over and over and over again and have God save you over and over and over again. You see, you haven't done it to that level, but when you do, then you end up, crossing the spiritual planes. It's basically 7 main veils are placed in front of your, I can't experience a one with God. And so you get farther along. Oh, one of the veils goes down. Oh my God, that's it. I'm with God. It's like, no, you got 6 more of those to go. And the final one is only for almost no one. You know what I mean? 56 alive at any time. And some of them are not here. They're in a body, but they're not here. Like, the body's alive and it's just somewhere and it's breathing and stuff, but they're not like there. You know? There are only five really completely coherent, knowledgeable, and could impact, the direction that everyone's coming or going from. Basically, directing. My goal. What are the five perfect masters? Dispense the knowledge to the service of Christ, so they act upon that knowledge, and that knowledge acted upon creates the events as planned by God for Judgment Day, Revelation. You see, and that occurs, and but really, your judgment is just waiting any old time. So you have to be prepared, right? Forgive everyone, including the devil and God. Forgive God. God did this to you. Do you get that? The devil works for God. God did everything negative to you and positive. Did everything. You can blame literally every single thing on God. Everything is blamed on God. You are God's creation. So, any thoughts were sent by God. Any actions to do were sent by God. So just accept that and realize, oh, I've always been with God. He's sending me thoughts and whatever. God is sending everything I should do. So then just accept, bend the knee and be like, I'll do whatever you say. Do it knowingly, with wisdom. Yeah, you're sent. Everyone is sent, not you. Everyone is sent two trains of thought, right? One is, oh my God, be nervous, don't do this, da, 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 da. There's a fear component to it. Don't listen to that voice, not ever. In fact, every time you hear a thought that's fearful, what you say is, in the name of Jesus Christ, whoever said me that thought, leave. Get thee behind me, Satan. You see what I'm saying? I'm with Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ has authority over my mind, my thoughts, my body. Get out of here. Every time you come with a thought that's not with Jesus Christ, you say his name. And you chase him out of there. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, no cats in here. Get out of here. You know what I mean? No stray cats. Out you go. Take out the broom and sweep them out. At the door, get out of here. No, you don't allow that. You see, the more you fight that battle of the mind, the more you can win. First, you have to fight the battle of the body, and oh my God, what's going on out here? Ah. Then you have to fight the ether, right? Everything you can't see, right? Then you have to fight your mind. Do you understand? Which eventually you win your heart through your mind. You see, your heart wins your mind back under the authority of Christ. They have Christ conscious. Oh, wow, now I don't have those negative thoughts. I'm just like, oh, do this. Oh, okay, yeah, no, what? I see why, So that's where this all goes. You have to take every single form here. Animal, cloud, tree, blah, blah, blah. That's evolution, right? You evolve through all the forms. And then, sorry, we're having a storm. You evolve through all the forms, and then you reach the human form. Then there's, far to go. So you have to go by all the 7 planes, of consciousness, by your actions and the knowledge and all that. So it's so hard to do in only 64 years, and not knowing the truth it's absolutely difficult. It's not easy. It's very difficult. So you have to get serious about it and treat this like every day is 1,000 years. Like you have to do nothing that would upset Jesus or upset your chances to go home. You see, you don't want anything here. Like everyone has needs. That's what part of the body is. There's some needs or whatever. Yeah, do them. But the wants, you don't want them. You just want whatever God tells you to do. Your want is to do that successfully so that when you meet with Jesus, and you're gonna very soon, you're going to, like I did, you're going to meet with him. And so what are you going to say? You see what I'm saying? He is going to be infinity times infinity. He runs everything. He is your God. And you're going to be literally kneeling in front of him. What are you going to say? You see what I'm saying? No other moment matters. This time is only about what you are able to express to Jesus, listen, if you're not kneeling there saying, look, man, you gave me a you gave me a difficult time, but I did my best, You were created by this God who's going to show up, who created you, knows every limitation, knows you through and through and through and through, created you, okay, and created many others like you that lived in that body in this time loop. My goodness. And so understands everything about you and your limitations and only is expecting your best. That's all. God just expects your best, so just do your best every day with whatever's thrown at you. And live happily, right? Don't live with guilt or regret, or just be like, this is now. You cannot affect the past, you see? You have now, what's in front of me right now, today, this second. What's the best I can do right now? That you do it. It's, oh, I'm hungry. I should go eat something that's good for me. Okay, go do that, Whatever it is at that moment, you do it, and then you have your meal. You're like, oh, thank you, Jesus, for this food. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Thank you for all this. Get me out of this dome. I'll do whatever you say. Okay? So you live on Judgment Day. The other team does. Everything's 33, 33, we be 33, everything. All they think about, night and day, all day long, in the dome and Judgment Day. They know the date, they know what it is, they know everything about it. Everything. Okay? They know all of it. They can't get it off their minds. They never don't think about it. You should be the same, or else you're not going to beat them. You will not beat them. You will not win your soul until you focus. You know what I mean? Like your adversary, the hundreds of millions allied against you, allied against you, right? They are focused on the correct information. You need to focus too. You see? And focus your actions based on that information. All right, everyone. I hope you find this useful. Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions. Have a wonderful day, all right? God bless you in the name of Jesus Christ.